You might have heard different designers saying, okay, this font's or this type's kerning is a bit off, or these two words need to be kerned. So basically, kerning is the space between two individual letters of any type or any font or any word. So you can see over here the space between O and T. It is basically the kerning. If we look at this sword, I have increased the kerning. So basically they have a bit bigger space between the two letters, or even all the letters. So basically what it means is that sometimes some of the letters, if you can see over here in the word typography, some letters like G and R are a bit closer to each other than these few other letters like P and O and other letters. So this is basically called kerning, and let's see how this kerning is going to affect our typography. So what does it mean is, if we try to have good space among our different letters, then it is more airy, openness, modern, elegant, stylish, related to technology. And if we have very less letter spacing, then it is its mood is towards intimacy, and you might have seen using the very close letter to each other in different logos. So this is basically very less letter spacing is used mostly in logos, so because it really creates a problem in legibility and readability. Let me show you some of the examples of letter spacing or kerning. I'm going to show you the bad example and the fixed one. So here we have written the FedEx in two different fonts. In the left one, you can see the E and X are very close to each other. I have not changed any spacing or letter spacing. It is the font's default. So in the bottom, you can see I have adjusted the space between E and X. So kerning is basically the space between two separate letters. So I have fixed the kerning between E and X. And in the right side, you can see D, and E, they look like they have more space. So in the bottom, I have fixed that. I have reduced the kerning between these three letters, and it is looking more even to our eyes. So this is how we use kerning. Mostly it is used in logos. You have seen FedEx logos. It is basically very tight kerning, almost letters touching each other. This is how they made their FedEx logo. But this is how we fix kerning, and what are the bad and good examples of kerning. Let me show you how you are going to access this kerning in Photoshop. So in Photoshop, if you don't see this A character panel over here, you can go to Window and click on this character over here, and this will appear over here. And you can see here we have this V/A, and there is a bit gap slash in between two letters. This is basically the kerning. And we can have two options like optical, and you can see this letter spacing kerning has shifted. So optical is basically related to your eyes, what your eye sees, and metric is basically machine kerning. So this is software based. And then we have 0, and other options are not available for this font. So these are two options right now. If you want to change the spacing between specific letters, then select this letter and use this control instead, like this one. Now if I increase it to 200%, you can see that this spacing between A and C has been increased. So this is how I use this character panel to increase kerning. Select one letter and you can use this. Basically it's a tracking control, but I use it for single letters like that. Okay, this is all about how to use kerning in Photoshop.